So, Mark, over half of Barrie's schools are failing based on the Fraser rankings. Over half of them.
Yeah, that was a pretty good article that you sent over. I was kind of surprised, but then I was kind of not surprised with some of the top ones. And we're going to go through for the viewers. We know the neighborhoods, we know the schools in the neighborhoods. We've done previous videos on it. And I was surprised with a couple that we were just chatting about St. Pete's, where it was really good area, good neighborhood, Southeast Barrie, one of the worst high schools in Barrie. Kind of
It is
surprised,
the worst.
right?
It
Catholic
was
school, kind of the worst. I was surprised at that rating, how low it was.
so the
So,
Fraser Institute goes by the testing. You know how they have the testing? Yeah.
yeah,
And I think everybody understands what that is at this point, because they've been doing it for years and years, and then they base it on the test scores of the kids.
right.
Um, I'm going to share the article with you, and then well, with everybody, so we can kind of get a feel for what they're saying.
And a lot of people are looking at school zones, right? I've had clients last year that we want to be in the Hewitt's Creek zone as example because it's a high rated school, or we
Well,
don't this zone.
listen, this is yeah, and this is what I was just saying to you. Steel Street was the worst,
Yeah,
Codrington or Steel Street the worst, Codrington the best, and they're 2 blocks away.
yeah, I know.
So, like when you're buying and you think you're getting the best school, you better make sure that it's actually the Codrington one you're going to and not Steel, because they're like 2 blocks away from each other.
Right. That's a good point that you brought up. So maybe when we're done this, we go over to the map of the school zones because I think we covered that before.
Well,
Did you?
I'm going to show you even a better trick.
Okay.
Okay. So first we'll go through this. So more than half of Barrie's elementary schools are performing below provincial averages, with one school, Steel Street Public School, ranking not far from the bottom in the Fraser's Institute's 2024 report cards. So ranking schools across Ontario, the secondary school report card was released earlier this month. Then they did the elementary.
Mhm.
So the report ranks 746 schools, 3,021 elementary, 746 secondary.
Mhm.
So these are province-wide results, right?
Correct.
That's how it works.
Yep.
So out of the city's 39 elementary, only 18 scored above the average mark.
Mhm.
Not even half.
Right. And there's 49 schools in Barrie, I believe.
Well, it says 39,
Okay.
39 elementary.
Elementaries, yes.
18 scored above the average mark, while the 10 secondary schools were split, five above, five below.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go through them because there's some really good, it has them all. So I think this is great for viewers to really get understanding of the school rankings. I think it's great.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy too? Um, Codrington and sister Catherine Dollery came out on top, both achieving 8.3. Hewitt's Creek close behind 8.2.
Yeah, another great school.
Steel Street scored a dismal 3.2, plummeting from its score of 5.1 in 2022.
That's a big drop. Wonder
That's
why.
like, yeah, they were one of the better ones actually before.
Above the five mark, yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
being oh, yep,
So they actually went from one of the betters to the worst.
yep,
So Terry Fox got 7,
yep.
St. John Vianney 6.4, Holly Meadows 5.8, Asikanak 4.8, WC Little 4.6. Um, like I said, over half were underneath the mark anyway, right?
Yep. Yep.
Nouveau Alliance came out on top locally, 7.2, holding steady with, well, its ranking is 187th provincially.
Yep.
Barrie North, Eastview, and Maple Ridge all scored 7 for 219th provincially.
Maple
So,
Ridge is a new school on Mapleview, I believe.
well, yeah, Barrie North is on Grove,
Yeah.
and so's Eastview. They're both in the North End.
Yep.
So it's funny to me that the best high schools, well, two out of three are in that northeast end.
Yeah. I know. And sometimes, we can point to say, wow, the neighborhoods, could be lower income, could be this, but it, I don't think that's the case when we're seeing schools across other areas in, more, higher priced neighborhoods kind of failing, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
where's St. Joseph's? And Bear Creek scored 5.4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So
see what I
Sacred
mean?
Heart is where Avery went for years. I was pretty happy with the school. Happy with a lot of young teachers at that school, which I really liked. Um, Lots of activities for the kids. And it's the same young teachers spearheading the coaching of the athletics and stuff like that. So pretty great for high school kids to, what I mean? It's a young demographic teacher there. So they're full of energy and donating a lot of their free time. So
Well, my son, my older one, went to St. Pete's, and
yeah,
at the time, like I was happy with it. And they actually focus on more academics than sports and stuff. They have a business program in there if you
yeah,
want to get into business later and all this stuff. So it's actually shocking to me that they were so low.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you go to the full report, there's a map.
Okay. So to explain this, so this is so people can see exactly what zone that, a neighborhood streets that would go to that school.
No,
Okay.
this is the rankings. Hold on, I got to get up to Barrie.
Okay.
This is the rankings by map. So it shows the
Okay.
location of the school and
Okay.
what the ranking is.
Okay.
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 I got to get up to Barrie. What a pain.
It's
They
all right.
start you off in Toronto, right? Or maybe if I put in Barrie up at the top, I'll go directly to it.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So you got to zoom in like this. This is the only hard part.
It's okay.
So this shows you. So there's a legend up here. And so pink is horrible,
Yep.
orange is not terrible, terrible, and yellow is great.
Okay.
Well, not great. Green is great, great, but I don't
Yep.
even think we have any in the green. One.
No, there's a couple, right? Hewitts Creek, Codrington, Maple High
No,
School.
not over 7. It's
Uh,
7.6 to 10. Hewitts Creek is 8.2.
yeah. Right. Right. Codrington would be up there at 8.3. So what does it mean to add to compare? What does that do?
Well, you can add that school and then have a comparison in that area of all the schools and it'll rank the best one. It'll
Okay.
show you all of them in that area.
All right. Okay. That's good
And
to
if
know.
you go over here, see Allendale Heights, 6.6.
Right.
Andrew Hunter, 3.6. That's the lowest one in Barrie.
Yeah. And that's the Letitia Heights area, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ardar Bluff, 7.8. Sikunak, 4.8. Codrington, 8.3. Cundall's, like you can scroll down here and see every single one.
Yep.
Um, Ferndale Woods, 4 point. This is a 4.2 for one of the French schools.
Yep. That's
Um,
a great,
but you
great
can
area.
go over here
Yeah.
and I can't zoom in on my computer
Okay.
because I need a mouse and I can't plug one in with this.
All right.
But
That's
what
okay.
you can do is you can zoom in on the area that you want
Right.
and say, okay, whereabouts, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Control zoom. I don't know how to do that on here. Yeah, it won't let me do it. But either way, you can go and if I hit this area here,
Hmm.
see? So we got a pink one over here, which we know is bad,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is Saint Marguerite de Vilk. It's a Catholic school.
Yep.
And then the other, we only have 2 pink and Barrie, and Andrew Hunter 3.6.
Yep. Yep. So some are failing, some are doing average, and some are doing outstanding. There's a
Yeah.
handful of outstanding ones. And
There's
and
not, yeah, there's only a couple green, man. There's like 2.
right. And Hewitts Creek area, in a shore area, fabulous area, right?
Yeah, but Codrington necessarily is that the best area, Barrie? No, but it's got the one of the best rankings.
I know. It's a
It
nice,
is the best ranking for elementary.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can't necessarily totally go by area.
No, 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 definitely.
That's the problem here, right?
Yep.
And orange is better than, no, yellow's better than orange, but we got a lot of orange, like in the
Yeah.
Holly area,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So if you go to a Simcoe County School Boards, right?
This is good for the viewers that it will teach them where to go so they can kind of have those maps and really zone in on the streets. I think this is a great tool because it's
Yeah.
to
So
do
if
it.
you go, I think it's Find a School.
Okay.
We're gonna try it right live here. Find out what school your child should attend.
Okay.
Hit that.
Okay.
You put
Good.
in your municipality.
Okay.
I'm gonna make up an address, okay?
Put my address, doesn't matter. Put 185 Dunlop. It's close to Cotterton, so it's just curious. Street East.
And what grade?
I don't know, but whatever. Norm.
Whatever. And then look up my school.
Yeah. Pretty simple.
Yep.
Cotton.
Codgerton Public School is where you'd go.
There we go. So if I had younger kids, that's the school they'd be going to.
Yep.
I have been a condo. So it would probably cover a lot of the other condo buildings down this area. What does it give us by streets too?
Well, it shows you here.
Like it doesn't matter. They punch in their street anyway. We don't need to go that. I'm just curious. If
Well,
they-
yeah, see, this is the thing that you get into trouble with
No,
is
I know.
that if you're on like okay, you're in that zone, but
Yeah,
if you go one or two streets over here, you're not anymore.
yeah,
Like it's so crazy.
yeah, yeah,
And you can get a map
yeah.
of the zones, but I don't suggest people do that, Mark,
No,
because
it's easier this way. It's more safer this way.
it's safer this way. You just put in the flipping address.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other thing you can look at, let me try.
Head.
Hold on. You can find out if your child can go on a bus.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. Let's show the viewers that. That's pretty
So
important.
let's just say Andrew Hunter, this is the area map. See?
So there's all the streets.
Shows the exact streets, right?
How do they get to do that? You just punch in the school again? Maybe you walk the viewer through it again, or you just pick the school, Dan?
Attendance area maps.
Okay.
Planning for school. Let me see if um there's somewhere where it shows transportation.
Or kind of just show where the bus routes are and stuff like that. So that if the kids are eligible, if they meet the criteria. And
Yeah.
you
So
what?
the
Norman
yeah, it's the
Rockwell?
same kind of thing.
Yep.
If you put in transportation eligibility mark.
Okay.
Simcoe County school bus. So now let's put in your Barrie, and we're at the Simcoe County District School Board.
I'm not sure.
You are not eligible for transportation.
Put it was under JK. Would that matter, you think, or no? Walking distance.
It's within walking distance.
Yeah.
You have to be under 1.6 kilometers or 5 kilometers or something.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So, say, let's put in, I won't put my address, but I'll put one on my street.
Okay.
Why won't it let me do it, Mark?
Go new search maybe.
New search.
And go off JK because maybe You're eligible. Okay. Great tool, right?
Yeah,
Great tool.
I would be good at Hillcrest Barrie Public School and on the street, and that isn't my actual address, just so
Oh,
people know. But we are eligible.
okay, great tools. So now the viewers can easily pick out schools by punching in their street numbers if they're looking at a particular house or neighborhood. And let's be honest, there's a lot of people making buying decisions today and purchases based on school zones. It's
Well,
happening.
another thing is, Mark, here I'm going to stop the share because we got so many flipping things open here. The other thing is if I have to buy, if I'm buying and like I have so many clients, I have one right now. We're looking at different things. Well, Diane, is this a good area? Is this not a good area? Well, in Barrie, we have a lot of mid, they're not bad, they're not good.
Yeah, yeah,
They're average.
yeah. When you get to higher price points, Wildwood Estates, Cumming Drive, Orsi, in the shore area, Crimson Ridge, Royal Park, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, they're higher end.
Higher end neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
Tollendale, higher end neighborhoods, properties.
But in the East End, what would you
I know.
say? You've sold and bought in the East End. Some
Yeah.
like Vancouver Street and Collingwood Street, high end,
Codrington, part of Codrington, nice.
but it's not high end. It's middle of the road. You
It's a
get
little
some
hard,
houses that are
right?
high end,
Right. We're seeing a lot some in those areas, right, where people, have refurbished the house, tore it down, rebuilt something, right? There was one that sold, and I came up,
it's gorgeous, right?
yet the street was 1.5 and change, and I went, I think they had a price change on it. I thought, ooh, that's still a high price. They sold it in 4 days.
I know.
Old area, I just forget the street. Pool in the backyard, um, large lot, but the house is probably 60 years old, right? Yeah,
Well,
they've done.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like I showed some in the East End this week, three of them, and they were like, "Well, is this a good neighborhood?" Well, it's not the highest end in the city, but it's not a bad one.
No, no. A lot of people like the East End. We don't see a lot of turnover there.
No, I told them like the East End is pretty good. Like, but is it like Innisfil or Ardagh? No. You can go through some streets and they look like they're smaller houses. They're not.
Right. You can. You can. Right. Where those other areas even are to too, right? Where they're big two
They're
stories.
all nice.
Pretty nice. Nice neighborhoods, right? So a lot of people buy their neighborhoods. Let's be honest. They're buying their neighborhoods. They
Yeah.
want to be around, you know, more of an income bracket in those neighborhoods. They fit in better. They know who the kids are playing with versus other areas. And that's just normal thing, right? We always want our kids to be around, you know, and surround themselves with good families like we are. And a lot of people buy into that, right?
Well, and not only that, like when you're like I remember when I was starting a family and Travis was about to start school and we were in Keswick
Mhm.
and we sold there and moved to Innisfil. I said, I don't want my kids to go to school here and I don't want to raise them here. And once they start, they're gonna stay where they are kind of thing. So it's like if you're about to start a family or you have younger children, you want to pick a zone or a school that they're gonna grow up in. You want a
100%.
good one.
100%. And to that point too, Dan, since we're on the topic of buses and schools and neighborhoods, why don't you show the viewer again? I don't think we want to spend a lot of time, but they can go to neighborhoods and look at the crime rate,
Yeah.
right? Just walk them through it. You'll just, we don't need to go through it. We've done other videos like that. They're in our library, but since we're on the education tool here today, we might as well say, hey, you know what? Is it because we get those questions a lot, right?
Yeah.
What's crime like? Well, now we're showing the viewers that, hey, you know what? We can show the crime here.
Yeah. It was
Very Police Services, I believe.
yeah, that's where I'm going.
This is a great tool, folks, that you should really,
So when
watch.
okay, yeah, hold on. Barrie Police Services and the crime map's right there, Mark.
Yep.
So I
Okay.
don't need to go to the site and try to find it. It's right here.
Yep.
So there is a portal. You have to read and agree to the disclaimer and then proceed.
It only goes back 60 days, correct?
Yes. Unfortunately, there's no way to go back further than that.
I wish there was, but whatever.
So this is the crime map here up at the
Yep.
top.
Yep.
And this shows assaults, violations, breach of probation, exactly what is happening, like what the crime is.
Yep.
But what I suggest, instead of having the whole thing,
Right.
go to Ward 1 first and see how much is in there and what it is.
Yep. It's East End.
Um, East End, then go to Ward 2, which there's always a lot there. Because if you do the whole thing, it's very difficult, right?
Very
Like
different.
there's lots.
Yep.
So this is my ward.
So let's go through your word so they can kind of see a little bit of what's going on in that. And that's all the crimes in 60 days, correct? So you got
Yeah.
violations, you got 8 assaults, you got mischief, motor vehicle theft, offensive
One
weapons,
right,
possession of,
one break and enter,
yep,
three mischiefs, yeah. Offensive weapons 1,
right,
criminal code traffic violation 1,
yep,
possession offense 3, robbery 1. So now if we tried to go to Ward 2,
yep,
offensive weapons 17, motor vehicle theft 4,
yep.
possession 22, robbery 3, theft 56, trafficking 10. So like assault 42, like you can see,
And look at the like impaired offenses related, impaired operation related offenses 20 over 60 days.
wow, what was mine?
I don't think you had any.
No. Oh yeah, seven. Seven.
Woo! No, thanks. So this is another great tool for people to kind of see what's going on in some neighborhoods.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
can't
like,
anybody's word for it. Oh, yeah, they're good areas. Well, yeah, and we say they're good areas, but this is just another avenue for people to get more educated about their areas, to really what's going on.
yeah, like in the Tollendale and the Innisfil, they had more break and enters than I did over here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's that's what I mean. I mean, let's be real, Mark. In this world now, there's crime in every area.
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure there is, right? In Ward 2, Sanford area, older part of Barrie, in that area, lots going on, right? A lot of rentals. I'm not saying that they're bad, but there's different income brackets will have its different crime,
Well,
right?
and the problem is
Huh.
that the homeless are
Yeah.
more centered in that area.
Yeah.
Um, so you're gonna see more like thefts or shoplifting or because they're not in my area. There's nothing for them here, right?
No, 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 no. Lots in my area downtown, being downtown, it would be a mess.
Yeah.
Lots going on, a lot of fights, a lot of mischief, a lot of thefts, break and enters, stolen property goes on and on and on and on. But another great tool that I'm glad we got a chance to share with the viewers, so people can pick the school areas, see, zone in and what's going on in that particular area in crime. To Diane's point, you're going to see it anywhere. This is just the new world we live in, but it's really less when there wasn't very much in Ward 10, great area, but it still has some stuff.
That's the thing. Like you're not gonna get away and look through those maps and find nothing anywhere.
No, you're not. I think that kind of wraps it up. I think.
Yeah, I
What do you
think we
think?
did a good job. And people, we also do have links down in our description for home evaluations and information packages that you guys can use.
Yeah,
And yeah, if you have any comments or questions,
call us,
yeah,
right? Call us.
yeah,
And we get a lot of people reaching out,
yeah.
right? Good. I've noticed a little increase in some of our video libraries of, things like worst areas, best areas, great areas. I see some traction picking up, and it's typical this time of year, right? People are, okay, now we're going to make a move. Let's start getting a bit more educated. I even got a call the other day from a lady in Windsor, right? Thinking of making a move up to this way. ask them about home prices, what are neighborhoods. So I'm going to send her this video that will give her a great idea of, how to navigate some of these functions that we have available to, people thinking about moving the community. I think it's
Yeah,
great.
and I mean, we're not hiding how we're getting the information. Anybody, we're
More
teaching
people.
people, we're teaching them how to go get it themselves. So,
It's all there. Okay.
yeah.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
See ya.
Bye.